So I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even like it was
Terence Crawford couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ron keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
so confident.
And Terence Crawford continue to be great, continue to do you.
Floyd "Money" Mayweather, long seen as untouchable in boxing, finally showed cracks under the pressure of time. The undefeated champion, who once ruled every division and made millions look small, went off on Terence Crawford, boldly declaring, "I'm still better." The reaction online was explosive because this wasn't just random talk. It was Floyd defending his legacy against the man now called boxing's new face, the same fighter who recently beat Canelo Alvarez and turned the sport upside down. To understand why Floyd snapped, you have to remember his dominance. 50 wins, 0 losses, a perfect record, unmatched defensive skills, and a career that made history look easy. Even as the new generation rises, Mayweather's confidence and reputation remain a benchmark, showing why every word from him carries weight in the boxing world.
I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Then came Terence "Bud" Crawford, a fighter built for a new era, not chasing fame but chasing greatness. When he defeated Canelo Alvarez, everything changed. Suddenly Crawford wasn't just another champion. He became the man, the fighter everyone started saying could have beaten even a prime Floyd Mayweather. His rise marked a new chapter in boxing, showing that the sport was evolving and that a new generation of fighters was ready to challenge the legends, proving skill, strategy, and heart can redefine who rules the ring.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? That's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Think about it. Canelo faced both men in their primes. Floyd clearly outclassed a young Canelo, no doubt. But in 2024, when Crawford stepped into the ring, it was a completely different story. Bud didn't just win, he dominated, making the bigger, highly regarded Canelo look ordinary and proving he belonged at the very top of the sport.
Terence Crawford had the ability to fight backwards and stay composed, good defense, hands was always up, countering everything that Canelo was throwing at him. He was just a little more active fight. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford.
I think some of what we saw from Canelo is what he's has to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile. It's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last, 6 to 8 fights. That same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him.
He did not allow Canelo to get inside, man. As soon as Canelo would get into that certain range, you would jab him. We didn't see any lateral moves where he would throw, push off to the side, as we used to see Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo was almost smothering his shot because he couldn't stay at range with him. And Terence Crawford runs off counter combinations. It would be a wider margin if they fought again.
After the fight, when reporters asked Canelo who was the better fighter between Mayweather and Crawford, he didn't pause. He said Crawford was the superior fighter.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
That statement sent shockwaves through the boxing world. It wasn't just praise, it challenged Mayweather's legacy. If Canelo, who fought both legends, says Crawford is the tougher fighter, it shifts the way everyone sees Floyd's place in boxing history.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, very obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah,
to a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people, but But
Are you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
did he lose?
20s.
I mean,
Your prime is in your 20s.
it's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
But I mean, don't you? I
He want to
mean,
make himself look like he did something great.
Floyd's career was all about perfection. Undefeated, unmatched, without flaws. But now, people began to question, could Crawford actually beat Mayweather? Could he be the one fighter who might finally topple the greatest of all time?
Terence Crawford couldn't have an era to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ron keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
That's when Floyd began to shift. He started dropping hints, first small, then louder, saying in interviews, "I've still got it, and if I wanted to come back, I could." At first, fans shrugged it off as typical Floyd bravado, but then the bombshell dropped. Floyd Mayweather was seriously considering a professional comeback, not just an exhibition, but a real fight.
Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
And the name everyone kept talking about was Terence Crawford. Floyd wanted to send a clear message. No matter what Crawford accomplishes, no matter how many belts he wins or how many top fighters he beats, he will never reach the level of Money Mayweather. This wasn't just about a fight, it was about protecting his legacy, proving that even as a new generation rises, his place as one of the greatest of all time remains untouchable.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
But before even considering a fight with Crawford, Floyd had another legend in mind, Mike Tyson. The two icons are set to face each other in an exhibition match next April.
If you could have fought any fighter, any era, who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather.
I love it. Why?
Huh?
You want to knock him out?
Well, I would love to fight him. I wish he was my weight.
All right, interesting answer.
He's very delusional. He can't listen. If he was anywhere near that realm of Great Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself. He can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
That fight isn't about titles or records. It's about pride. Tyson has openly said he doesn't respect Mayweather, calling him arrogant and claiming he never took real risks, promising to expose him for the world to see.
How do you feel about Floyd, though?
Huh?
How do you feel about
Awesome
Floyd?
fighter, great fighter. He's a little too into himself. He should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like you was a movie star. You was a hero.
I didn't see that.
The Floyd versus Mike Tyson matchup is already shaking up the boxing world. Fans are divided. Some see it as a thrilling clash of legends, while others dismiss it as a circus, claiming it's not a serious fight but just another payday bout. Despite the debate, the hype is undeniable, and everyone is watching to see what happens when two of the sport's most iconic figures step into the ring.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the fuck is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. we have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but it's happening.
Critics argue that a 61-year-old Mike Tyson shouldn't be stepping back into the ring, especially against someone like Floyd, who is still fast, sharp, and active. And they have a point. This fight is definitely controversial.
It's just shit, isn't it? I mean, like, let's be honest, like, I hate, in a way, and I know people go, oh, you can talk, you fuck. I just hate some things that are happening in boxing. Like, I don't mind if some, you know, like even Jake Paul, I don't mind Jake Paul. I think he's a young guy who's taking boxing seriously. I think he's improving. I think he's doing training camps. But why would you want, how old's Mayweather? 50? You got a, what?
Maybe a little bit.
How old's Floyd Mayweather?
48.
You lot don't even know. You're supposed to be boxing. Yeah, I know, yeah. But, all right, 48, 49, whatever. I was going to say, that's old. He's 2 years older than me. Right, what I'm saying is, who wants to watch a 48, 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson? It's just bullshit. Like, and as much as I love money, I just wouldn't do that. Because I actually, whether you believe me or Pete, you believe me, I love boxing too much. I think it's disgusting. It's just so shit. Like, who wants to watch that? Yet people will watch it, so I understand. But it's just like, I just find it naff.
Jake Paul already faced criticism when he fought Tyson, and now Floyd is stepping into the same storm of backlash. But if Floyd dominates Tyson as many expect, he could turn the story around, using the win as a redemption, proving he still has what it takes, and maybe even setting up the long-awaited showdown with Terence Crawford.
Fight that fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're going to have fun, we're going to throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to Mike Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to get the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be an exciting event.
That's why Floyd's outburst hit so hard. When he went live saying, "I'm still better," it wasn't just confidence, it was desperation. He was watching the sport move on without him, seeing Terence Crawford rise as the new face of boxing, and for a man whose identity was built on being untouchable, that's a nightmare. Crawford's record speaks volumes. Undefeated, undisputed in 2 divisions, having faced the best fighters available, and not just beaten them but dominated them. He's one of the rare fighters who can switch stances mid-round and make it look effortless, proving he's truly a generational talent and a force that even legends like Mayweather have to reckon with.
Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on is Bud.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this, it's different, man.
Even Floyd has admitted that Crawford's style reminds him of his own. The patience, the adaptability, the ability to read opponents like a book. But there's a key difference. Floyd never had that killer finishing instinct, while Crawford does. He doesn't just win fights, he dominates and destroys his opponents.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah. We ain't going out that much.
Now fans are asking if Crawford is the next evolution of Floyd Mayweather, but for Floyd, that feels like an insult. In his view, there's no evolution, only imitation. He's made it clear, these guys learned from me. Everything they do, they got from watching me, so how can they be better? For him, no one can surpass what he built, and while Crawford is a phenomenal talent, in Mayweather's eyes, it's all a reflection of his own legacy.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terrence.
always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The
sense
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terrence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
That's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody
though.
else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer,
that you can't
right?
outfigure
Yeah,
out.
yeah, you gotta.
There's
yeah.
an OG you can't outfigure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't outfigure out.
Floyd is mistaken here. Crawford isn't trying to copy Mayweather or chase fame and fortune. He's after something bigger, his legacy. He's fighting to make history, not for headlines, and that's what sets him apart. While Floyd often went for the money, Crawford is focused on leaving his mark.
Crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million, but I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100?
Floyd is now facing a challenge he's never dealt with before, fading relevance. The media attention that used to follow him everywhere is now focused on fighters like Crawford, Gervonta Davis, and even Jake Paul.
You fought both Canelo and Mayweather. You fought them both. Who did you think was better, Canelo or Mayweather? I know that's Canelo was saying it was Crawford better than Mayweather.
I was very impressed with Canelo at 21, but Mayweather was still technically more sound. I think Crawford is better. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. But Mayweather is definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
When Floyd said, "I'm still better," he wasn't just talking to Crawford. It was a message to everyone, fans, media, and the new generation trying to move on, reminding them that he's still very much in the game and can't be forgotten.
Talking of Crawford, do you think he's better than Mayweather after his win over Canelo Alvarez?
No, I don't think nobody is better than Mayweather. No. So,
what do you think he needs to do to eclipse the likes of the greats in Mayweather, Ali? Do you think it's possible?
I'm not saying he is a great fighter. He's great in his own right. But to ask me, is he better than Mayweather? I don't think no one is better than Floyd Mayweather. No one. If we talking about fast process, if we talking about speed, if we talking about punch accuracy, if we talking about punch selection, if we talking about poisonous, God forbid we talking about defense. There's not too many that come close. They can't even carry his jockstrap. Floyd Mayweather's on another level, and we shouldn't forget that since we haven't seen him in the ring in some time.
Honestly,
Asset
Floyd isn't
concealment,
entirely wrong.
obstruction of employed
He'll
money
always
Mayweather.
be one of boxing's
His entire-
smartest fighters.
See, here's
His
the thing
ring
about
IQ,
titles.
defense,
Not greatness.
footwork, and control
Straight up
are on
dollar
another
sign.
level, and he often won fights mentally before throwing a punch.
Who used to show
If
up
this
to
fight
interviews
happens,
with a literal
it means very
backpack
different
full of-
things for each man. For Floyd, there's little to lose. A win would cement his legend, proving he came back at 50 and beat a top pound-for-pound fighter. A loss would just be chalked up to age. For Crawford, the stakes are huge. A win might be dismissed as beating an older fighter, but a loss could undo everything he's worked for. That's what makes this matchup so compelling. It's not just about punches or titles. It's about pride, legacy, and one man defending his crown while the other aims to claim it.
Where's he rank now, all time? Ending this interview.
Number one, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford is this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight, that's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation from Floyd's generation to this generation didn't get to see the come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on.
Here's the irony. No matter what happens next, both Floyd's and Crawford's legacies are already set. And maybe, just maybe, they're both right. Floyd might be the greatest ever, but right now, Terence Crawford is the best in the world.
Saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
That's it for today's video. If you liked it, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss our next videos, and be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one.